I think Capitol Day is extremely important because you are the face of real estate in your community, and when you're showing up to the Capitol and meeting legislators, it shows them how much you care, and as well as understanding for maybe what the local issues are.
Not at the table, you're on the menu. And so if you're not involved, you might find yourself at the mercy of the legislature.
What legislation is important to you guys, and how does that affect housing? If you haven't come down, eat lunch with some of the best realtors in the state and meet your legislator.
I think when you're passionate about real estate and you show that within the conversations that you're having with your legislators, I think that shows them the seriousness of the issue that might be at hand.
Them understand how our markets work and how it affects people, home ownership and private property rights.
A lot goes on at the Capitol, and I think that when there are conversations leading up to decisions being made and how those are passed down, those decisions can directly reflect all of our communities within the state.
When we go into property tax, property rights, all of those things are important because we want to represent our property owners, and by being involved and building the relationships and bringing what's going on in our communities back to the legislation helps them to make the decisions, pass the bills, and make property ownership the best it possibly can be.
Thank you all for coming out. We got some big issues to tackle this year. I mean, in the very near future. I know we need to get together on some of them. Like the biggest thing I saw is, Mark mentioned it, the candidate for governor. I've been touring and reminding myself how big Kansas is, right? And touring around the state. And I got to tell you, every place I've been, the number one has been property taxes.
Well, thank you for coming to Topeka today for your day at the Capitol. It's important. It's very important for you to advocate for yourself. I always tell groups, if you're not advocating for yourself, there's nobody out there that's going to advocate for you. So you need to come up and be engaged in the process, and certainly get to know your representatives and senators. And that's probably one of the most important things you can do.
I'm Jeff Hill, the 2026 Kansas Realtor President. It's my honor to introduce the 48th Governor of Kansas, Laura Kelly. Governor Kelly's goal for her second term has been to continue the work needed to make Kansas the best place in the country to raise a family. That includes prioritizing fiscal responsibility, affordable housing, healthcare, and economic development. Please welcome, or join me in welcoming Governor Laura Kelly.
The economic growth we are seeing in Kansas in our urban, suburban, and rural areas has rapidly increased the demand for housing. My administration has been working with developers and with local communities to meet this demand. We have invested millions into building new homes and restoring older ones. We have modernized our tax credit and incentive programs to revitalize downtowns to include residential options. We have particularly focused on middle-income housing to meet the demands of a growing workforce. We will continue this laser-like focus right through to the end of my term, and we welcome your input as we move forward.